Here's today's In Touch devotion.
Today's scripture reading begins in verse 5 of 1 Samuel chapter 18. And David went into battle wherever Saul sent him, and always achieved success. So Saul put him in charge of the men of war, and it was pleasing in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants. Now it happened as they were coming, when David returned from killing the Philistine, that the women came out of all the cities of Israel, singing and dancing to meet King Saul, with tambourines, with joy, and with other musical instruments. The women sang as they played, and said, Saul has slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s. Then Saul became very angry, for this lyric displeased him, and he said, They have given David credit for 10,000s, but to me they have given credit for only thousands. Now, what more can he have but the kingdom? And Saul eyed David with suspicion from that day on. Now it came about on the next day that an evil spirit from God rushed upon Saul, and he raved in the midst of the house while David was playing the harp with his hand, as usual, and a spear was in Saul's hand. Then Saul hurled the spear, for he thought, I will pin David to the wall. But David escaped from his presence twice. Now Saul was afraid of David, because the Lord was with him, but had left Saul. So Saul removed him from his presence, and appointed him as his commander of 1,000, and he went out and came in before the people. David was successful in all his ways, for the Lord was with him. When Saul saw that he was very successful, he was afraid of him. But all Israel and Judah loved David, for he would go out to battle and return before them.
We all have desires and hopes for life, but our plans aren't always God's will, and the things we see others experiencing may not be what He has in store for us. Those of us who are believers must be careful not to compare ourselves with anyone else, because that leads to either pride or to envy and jealousy. In appointing Saul as Israel's first king, the Lord gave him power and authority over the nation. However, when Saul heard women attributing greater praise to David than to him, he became envious and suspicious. He began to fear that he'd lose the kingdom to David, and eventually his jealousy led to that very outcome. Perhaps this seems like an extreme example, yet there may be jealousy hiding in your heart. Ask yourself if anyone's material, physical, or relational success is stirring up anger, discontent, or anxiety within you. These emotions are often an indicator of a jealous mindset. There's a fallacy in this kind of thinking. We assume that getting what we want will make us happy. But contentment doesn't come from having our own way. Rather, it comes from learning to accept that whatever God gives us is best for us. He alone sees beneath the surface and gives us what we need for our spiritual well-being.